There are a few fishing trips that get me as excited as I was for this one. A 2-day fishing trip in a remote Florida town with some of my best friends. Over the next 48 hours, you will see the highest of highs.
Nice snook. Nice snook. Yep, he's in that corner.
And the lowest of lows.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe he threw that hook, dude.
Through all of the ups and downs a trip like this can bring, we ended our trip peacefully, enjoying coffee and breakfast at the local Everglades Fishing Company. It was here where me, Adam, and Bishop recapped our weekend, all while eating some phenomenal food. And as we begin to dive into our trip, we have to start here, a small town 40 miles south of Naples, Florida. This is Chokoloskee, a quiet, tight-knit community of a mere 346 people directly bordering Everglades National Park. Here, there seems to be more stop signs than restaurants, a welcome change of pace for many hardcore fishermen. Chokoloskee has a richer history than many know of, though. Originally settled in the 1870s, it is the oldest town in Southwest Florida. I think what is so appreciated about this town is how little it's changed over time. From legends like Jose dropping in here in the late 1900s to now, it almost looks identical.
The area called Everglades City, Chokoloskee, and to the south, this is an area called...
Before I made the hour-long drive on 41, cutting through the Everglades, I packed up my belongings and organized my tackle. Alrighty guys, well, just finished loading up my tackle, getting that all situated, and if you guys look behind me, got the boat, and we're gonna be heading down south, getting that dropped in and ready for the weekend. I am going to be heading down solo right now, fishing. It is about 11 o'clock, and I will be headed down, hopefully dropping in around 2-ish, and hopefully getting on some nice fish. Gonna be fishing solo today, fishing all day Saturday, and that's going to give us 2 days on the water, hopefully catching some nice fish. I'm super excited, gonna see how it goes. Let's go catch some fish, solo, down in the Glades, day one. As I made my way to Chokoloskee, I had plans on keeping it simple today, possibly staying closer to the ramp while also looking for some big fish, warming myself up for the next day, if you will. As I dropped my skiff in, I had high hopes. And while I navigated the chain of rivers to the backwaters, I felt a tug on my sleeve to stop at an area I've only fished once before. As I made this decision, it turned out to start the weekend off on a strong note. Alrighty guys, well, welcome back to another video. You guys probably know how this one's gone a little more than I do, but we got something pretty awesome going on. We actually are, you can kind of call it not camping, but we are spending 2 days down here in Chokoloskee. I'm out, it is about 2:30, so I have a little bit of time by myself solo down here before some of my buddies get off from work, and they're gonna be meeting me down here, hopefully getting on some awesome fish, fishing some new areas. I got a K-tail right now, 4-inch K-tail, and honestly it looks so freaking good. I'm like, it looks better than the 3-inch, and super soft, land soft, so I'm gonna see how that does. But I'm looking around, high tide here. It looks pretty good, so we're gonna see what's up. But guys, awesome day. I'm gonna show kind of the experience of Chokoloskee. You know, there's a ton of Airbnbs you can rent. I talked to someone at the ramp that said he's staying in Everglades City. It's really my first time doing it. I've camped on chickies and stuff, but this is my first time just staying in a house, and there's something to be said about that, being able to shower and stuff. So with that being said, guys, let's go. Yeah guys, today I'm throwing the 2500 Authority. And I mean, this drag on this thing is actually so smooth. Great reel, throwing it on a medium battalion rod, so kind of got the pen setup going here. Excited about that. I'm hoping this thing gets clobbered by a big snook. Like I said, these K-tails, they reel really nice. I feel like you can kind of skip them a little bit. As I cruised this line midday, I knew skipping this K-tail underneath the mangroves was going to be the key to my day. And as I rounded the corner, we got our first hit. Nice snook. Nice snook. Yep, he's in that corner. Nice snook, guys. He came out of there like a missile. Yep, he's got some in him. Yep. Let's see if we can tame him. Yep, come on. He might be close to slot. Gorgeous fish sitting in that shade, guys. On a days like this where it starts to get hot, these fish, they might be sitting on the 4-inch K-tail. They might be sitting up in the shade like that. I think that might be the case. Well, guys, that's about as good as you can start the weekend right there. You guys can see that K-tail. That's about as good as you can start the weekend. 4-inch K-tail, big snook, almost 30 inches. Guys, gorgeous fish right there. Look at that 30-inch snook. Gorgeous. Let's get him back in the water. Look at that beautiful fish. Guys, that's how you start your Everglades weekend right there. With a beautiful snook. Guys, not a bad start to the day. Let's go get on him. Guys, he smoked the K-tail. A little bit frayed up, but let's retie. Well, guys, you guys saw that. I had a feeling with this heat, some of them might be up in the shade. I mean, it's getting hot. That was probably my 6th cast of the day. 30-inch snook. That was awesome, guys. Tough to start the day better than that. Cannot ask for much more. I also saw a snook blow up there. So, you guys saw that. He literally came flying out of those trees for this bait. It was awesome. If you told me I was gonna get a slot snook, like under 10 casts of the day, at a spot I've only fished once before, one of those things where I'm rolling past it and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna stop and fish this. Kind of get flashbacks to the one time I did fish it. I fished it with on low tide with one of my buddies, and it's high tide right now, and I don't love high tide. So it's like, it was super shallow when I fished it with my buddy. So I'm like, it might not be bad with a little bit more water. So come out here, do that. Take some skilled casts. You gotta get it like that one. You gotta get it way up there. But can produce, as you guys just saw, so. Gonna keep working this.
I ended up doing just that, but with not much more luck, it was time to move on while the sun was still high. As I ran further from home, I was hoping to add some more fish to a already successful day. Some more fish stories to tell that night over dinner. As I made my way to the next spot, I found just that. Some more quality fish to keep my day going strong.
Alright guys, we're gonna stick with the K-tail. Same thing, just gonna get it up in here real slow. There's a lot of mullet in this bay, so I feel like this is a very realistic profile, which is good. Ooh, that was a nice red right there. All right, now's where it could get interesting. It's a little deeper, I think. It's a decent snook, guys. Not huge. He's honestly fighting heavier. He's fighting bigger than he is. He almost gave me a little bit more run for my money than the 29 did. You guys can tell there's two similarities between those two fish already. It's that they were way up in the shade, which is interesting, but gorgeous fish. I guess we'll get him some screen time. Gorgeous fish right there. Wow, look at this trout, guys. Look at this trout. What the heck are you doing here, dude? Oh my gosh. Absolute football of a trout. We're gonna keep him in the water. Golly. He is a pretty one. You guys can kind of see the girth on him. Really good fish. Well guys, we get a solid redfish and we have a really nice backwater slam going. Honestly, I thought it was a bass. With how wide he was, his shoulders on him were really big. But this full moon is not really much of a factor so far, so we're gonna keep working. Let's get on him.
After I added a new species to the day, I continued down this line, noticing that the sun was peeking through the tree line around me, signaling that my time today was coming to a close. As I continued fishing, I came across some smaller tarpon, offering some fun for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
It's a little tarpon. 100% a little tarpon. Little tarpon. Come on, buddy. All right, well, there's a little tarpon here. I just got snapped off by something.
Before I knew it, I was fishing the last spot of my day, with the sun going down in front of me. I ended up running further than I thought I would, so with a long ride home, I covered some ground before finally stopping for one last hoorah, catching some smaller snook to round out the day.
Oh, little snook. I saw my line literally go numb.
The first day was over, and as I head back to the ramp, the sun was going down perfectly over these mangroves. The sunset was gorgeous, and I was hoping it was foreshadowing of the day ahead of me tomorrow. As I made it back to the ramp right at dark, I was greeted by a few buddies of mine as we head to the local bar for some dinner. Day number 2. As I topped off the skiff and prepared to launch the boat, I was just as excited this morning as I was midday yesterday. After fueling up both ourselves and the boat, I head towards the ramp ready to drop in for the day. We were a little behind schedule as the sun was already rising, but nonetheless, we rode off into the sunrise headed towards the first spot. Today's drive across Chokoloskee Bay was a little bit different as well, as I had Bishop and Adam on the skiff. My goals slightly shifted with this, with thoughts of putting them on some fish and taking more of a backseat role on this trip. As we got to the first spot, Bishop was ripping a topwater, and after a few snagged trees, the first hour was pretty uneventful to say the least.
That looks really fun.
This is the part of fishing that no one talks about. That part.
And you're just smiling through it all, right?
After that, we took off towards the second spot of the day, and after a decently long run, the fish finally started to tango.
The guy gave me these. They're like different shrimp. They have like tentacles.
Yeah, but is it like a paddle tail? Look at it.
No, it's a shrimp. It's just a different, it's a new model. It honestly looks better than a gulp, dude. Oh, big head weight.
That's a nice fish, guys.
Dude, that's a nice fish.
Big red fish. Big red fish. Let's stop this trolling motor. Look at that red fish, guys. Someone grab the net.
Wow, that's a big redfish. Holy cow. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh, that is about as big as you're gonna get. That's about as big as you're gonna get. Wow, look at that fish. Oh.
Holy cow. Oh, look at the mass on him.
Dude, that is about as big as you're gonna get.
You can barely like.
Oh my gosh. Look at
It
this.
seems like he's no match for the fin though.
I mean, it's honestly just a joke. I mean, like,
Wow, that's a stud.
yeah, I'll try to get him head first at him. He's probably overslot, dude. All right, please. He's still got some fight in him. Oh, come on. I do not like how he's shaking his head. This guy is a freaking tank, dude. Good Lord. All right, Adam. I can't believe he was cruising this line, dude. This thing is giant, bro.
Wow. I don't think redfish are part of the tournament, are they?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It just fell out.
Oh my God.
All those turns, he just took it out. Dude, that thing had to have been what?
That was 30 inches. Oh my God.
I was thinking 45.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's, I mean,
At least dude, that was epic.
that was sick. That was an awesome
Can't be
fish.
mad about that.
We got him, like, yeah, that was cool. All right, let's get back on him. That was,
He did spill Adam's beer though, so that was kind of messed up. What an awesome fight though.
yeah, that was, I'd rather have him fight like that than, like, there's nothing worse than when he hits it and, like, comes off instantly, you know what I mean? You could tell he was tired too. When he came off, he, like, literally took a second to swim
You know
away,
what's
dude.
So cool though is when you first hooked it. It's that big fish movement where like they just pause for
Yes,
a second
dude.
and they're like, wait, what's going on? And then they put their body into it.
Yeah, he was 30 to 32, I'd say. That was a freaking giant. Well, that's cool.
All right, man. I would not mind a 10-pound bass in this creek. Yeah, that'd be sick. Look at that big fish. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Is that a jewfish or is
No.
that a massive? Looks like a red. Dude, if you. Oh, come on.
Got him. It's a jewfish. It is a jewfish, dude. Oh, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I turned him. Dude, it is a jewfish. That's crazy. You called that. He's actually a big one for the back.
I was like, oh, if you. God. I might have to put whatever you're doing.
Yeah, this thing's pretty juicy. He's like not even fighting. Oh, there you go. Oh. Oh, you piece of shit. Dude, you just sniped your beer, dude. Sight casted this thing. That's pretty sick. Okay, well, if you thought, if you told me, man, I'm just sniping them from the back of the boat here, guys.
We ended up tucking into a creek with no success. And after an absolutely devastating lost redfish, I was on the back of my boat licking my wounds. Although the jewfish did help a little bit, and we still had plenty of light throughout the day. As I motored us out of this creek, it was time to go and find some more big fish.
Dude, that looks decent. It looked more decent. Nice.
You know, it's the fun size. Okay, we need to, this could be our,
I will say, when it first like did that thing, it looked bigger.
yeah, well, he swirled on it up. There's a creek here and it feeds out some water. You have to get it on the left side. Dude, they're loaded in there.
Oh, big, nice size. Why are you so good?
Oh, that's a dot. If you don't get, oh, that's a nice fish. That's a nice fish, Adam. Rod tip down.
Wait, really?
That's a nice fish. I think it might be a red. I think it might be a red. Nice. Okay. Adam, I'm gonna try to get you in there a little bit.
Whoa.
It's a nice fish. I think it's a redfish. Here, walk to the front, Adam. I'll get back. Oh, rod tip down. It's in the trees.
I don't want to fall walking in the front.
All right, you're good. Just try to keep rod tip down and try to get him out.
Yeah, he's not.
Do you feel it in the trees?
A little bit.
Oh.
Damn, dude.
Come on.
You were joking. I thought it was another.
Here, I can try to get us up there a little bit. Is he like wrapped?
I kind of feels like it. Yeah, it's not moving.
Oh, hopefully, just try to keep tension. I might be able to like hop in the water. It's really shallow here. I think it's a nice red. Come up to the front. Oh my God, dude. Oh my gosh. That's the second nice fish.
Cold.
Oh. I'm telling you, when he came up, it looked orange. I think it was a big, and I've caught him here before.
He was fighting like a red.
That is sickening, bro. He smoked, dude. I thought you were gonna be able to get him because it's so shallow here. That's where he could get you in trouble, which is what he did. But I thought he was gonna run here and you were gonna be all right. I thought, when you first got him, I thought you were gonna be able to get him out for a second.
I thought he was coming.
Yeah, it sucks. Oh well.
After another good fish lost, we ended up clocking out for our lunch break, heading to a spot you guys are familiar with on this channel from a previous video. As we docked the boat, it was time for an update, as we downed some snacks, preparing for the back half of our day.
If I'm being honest,
I think you're just doubting his skills.
this is like the premier tarpon fishing spot in the world right here. Look at all of them. They can't, I mean, it's a sea of silver.
I cannot wait to put that in the video, dude. Holy crap.
Brock. I love how your voice does do that too when you're doing it. Are you recording?
I am now. Midday update. Me and Adam missed 2 big redfish. I sight casted a jewfish. I think what we're gonna do is look for some tarpon and then try to get a big redfish or snook. I think the snook are being a little tough to get on this full moon, but like I said, we had big redfish. You guys saw the redfish, hopefully with Bishop's camera skills, but it was 32 inches probably. Adam's was probably upper slot, over slot. But anyways, I think we're gonna go get on some nice fish, hopefully, and see what's up. But big snook, big redfish. Got about 4 or 5 more hours. Staying the weekend in Chokoloskee, as you guys know, but let's go.
The back half of our second day was not the best. We rolled some swim baits and ultimately caught some small bass, but nothing worthwhile. As the winds became basically unbearable, we made the long run home with food and drinks on our mind, ready to relax after a hard day's fishing. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the first of many Chokoloskee Airbnb trips, and as always, I appreciate you guys, and God bless. See you guys next time.